What's going on, folks? My name is Joe, aka J to the OE. Welcome or welcome back to Joey's Games, where we talk about video games, food, nerd stuff, and anything else that's going on in my life. This could be one of the most controversial videos I've ever put out because I wanted to love Dragon Quest XI so bad. Everybody was talking about how much of a classic it was, and about 30 to 40 hours in, I realized something. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I sold it, and I'm moving on. And today we're going to talk about why that is. Before we get into any of that, I want to stir the pot a little bit. Let me know in the comment section why you love Dragon Quest XI, because I know a lot of my friends here on YouTube love it. And yeah, let me know in the comment section why. If you didn't, let me know if you didn't, you know? And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Hopefully, not too many people leave because of this opinion. So I wanted to get into Dragon Quest XI. It is the only Dragon Quest I've ever played. People are like, if you want to get into Dragon Quest, this is the game for you. It's the newest one. And I wanted to try that so I could try like Dragon Quest 1 and 2 and then 3 and, you know, all those remakes too. And I figured, hey, let me try it. But the first thing I really didn't like was the combat. You know, now, I'm the first to admit that I don't really like turn-based RPG combat. But there are some combat mechanics that I love. I love Expedition 33's turn-based combat mechanic with the parry mechanics and the patterns and all of that. I love the combat mechanics in Octopath Traveler, where you find weaknesses and you exploit and you experiment and you remember. I love the combat mechanics in Persona 5, where, again, there's weaknesses and you can exploit them and you could try to do a whole combat without getting hit back. Like, those things are great to me. I didn't feel like Dragon Quest had any of that. It just felt like, all right, once I got that Falcon Slash, let me just spam the crap out of Falcon Slash. Now, as soon as I got something that hit up an all-area damage, hey, let me just spam the crap out of that. You know, like, it just felt too automatic. Like, I could just go on YouTube and give a walkthrough of like, well, here's exactly how you should beat the thing. I didn't feel like I had enough creativity to try to play it. The next thing I didn't really like about Dragon Quest XI was the overarching story. I know it's the hero story, the basic JRPG trope hero story. And that, I think, maybe is my problem. You got the silent protagonist without any depth. You got the regular, you know, you got the grandpa wizard. You got the flirtatious one. You got the pretty one, but obviously is a healer. You got the bad boy, you know. You got the comic relief. But I mean, it's predictable, you know. Charming. I understand why it's charming and great. It didn't hit me, you know. I wasn't invested. I didn't get invested in those characters, make me love them like my crew, like in Mass Effect. Like, I knew everybody's personal stories, and I didn't care if any of them lived or died. Once that, spoiler alert, once that part of the story happens where you go to the tree of Yggdrasil, and you fail, and everybody kind of just separates, I was just like, alright, cool. Like, there's no, it didn't hit me. So, The next thing that I really didn't like about Dragon Quest XI, and honestly, most RPGs in general, is the amount of grinding I have to do. Because the combat is repetitive. Because the world, to me, wasn't that interesting. It was empty. The monsters were a little too cutesy for me. I had to do so much grinding. It's just boring. I remember watching a movie during one of my grinding sessions, and I wasn't paying attention. I was just pressing A just to do combat and level up and level up and level up just so I can defeat the next boss. Every town felt identical. You know, there's an inn, there's a bank, armor, sword, blacksmith, you know. But yeah, just not. Now it was pretty though. I mean, that's something to say. It was pretty, but pretty can only get you so far. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And the last thing that kind of got me tired of Dragon Quest is the pacing. I mentioned already all the grinding. Oh man, it was just so harsh. By the end, well, by the time I gave it another 10 hours, but by the time, again, spoiler alert, that we got defeated in the Tree of Isigro, I was done. I was like, oh, cool, the game is over. I lost, like Avengers Endgame. I was good. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. But I felt like that was just half the game. And I'm like, come on, man. Hurry it up. Let's close it up. I don't mind 80 to 100 hour games. I love Persona 5. I loved Skyrim, you know, The Witcher 3. But there's a lot of variety in those, you know. Arguably, maybe not Persona 5, but even those dungeons felt different in Persona 5. I just felt like I just kept fighting the same types of monsters with different shapes. There's no strategy, and it was just over and over and over and over and over again. I just got bored. Now, just because Dragon Quest XI isn't the game for me, I understand my buddies and friends why you love it. You know, it is beautiful, and I have friends, even though I don't understand, that love the grind of JRPGs, you know. I understand the safety and the coziness of the JRPG tropes, and you kind of know what's going to happen. But it just wasn't for me. And hey, that's okay. I'm sure you guys have games that other people love that you don't, you know? Even some of you guys who commented in my video that I talked about games that everybody needs to play once. You know, one of you guys said, man, all the games you mentioned, I hated. And that's okay, man. I love, you know, all the gaming community, that we could all come together with all different interests and just chat games. And that's cool. There's different games for different people, different strokes for different folks, you know. It's all good. And this is why I don't want to trudge through a game. There's plenty of games to play and enjoy without having to feel like I have to finish this. You know, I don't have that much time where I feel like if I'm not enjoying a game, I'm going to keep playing it to see it through. That's it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So if you've ever quit that perfect, amazing game, hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you later, or I will see you another time.